Hi, Tom Osbeck here. I'm Ingrid Bauer's younger brother by about 5 years. She was born Frances Ellen Osbeck, and now you people refer to her more or less as Ingrid Bauer. I grew up with her until she moved on in her, late teens or early 20s. And so I thought I'd share with you some of the earlier days, because we did spend a lot of time together. We grew up in a household right next to the Erie Zoo, and we had a lot of trips over there and had a lot of fun. They had a train ride we took, and there was a big elephant called Eva, who, when it got a little upset or hungry, we could hear from him from our house, which is about a half-mile away. We also went out to restaurants a few times with my dad. He loved to go to Barnacle Bill's, of all place. Had seafood there. We had a 13-mile stretch of beach in just 5 miles from the house on Lake Erie, and we used to go there and have an awful lot of enjoyable times, swimming and barbecues. She loved her pets. A couple funny things with the pets is she got a Bantam chicken one time. We called her Mama Chicken. She had a duck that made it into the newspapers one time, and we called that One Man Army because when the duck crapped, it looked exactly like Army fatigue colors. She had a cat named Tigger. She named it Tigger because her best friend had a cat named Tigger, and she liked the cat's name. And when I said, well, why don't you name the cat something else, she said that there's probably 1 million cats named Tigger, so I shouldn't be bothered with it. So the cat name stayed named Tigger. We had dogs. We had many more cats. As time went on, she got involved with the Erie Playhouse, and she acted some, and was involved with the backstage events and that type of stuff for the Playhouse. We had relatives that lived about 100 miles away on my dad's side, and there it was a Swedish community. My grandfather came over around 1900 and grew up in Mount Jewett, Pennsylvania, where the relatives still stayed, and that's where my dad grew up. They had a Swedish festival every year there. We went over there a lot, and there were 6 cousins, all the same ages about me and my sister, that we hung around with. And then on the mother's side, she grew up in the South, and there was 7 cousins there that were all about the same age. And of those 7, Fran was the first one to pass away. We're all actively get together, and just last October we all spent some time together at my mother's homestead that was there since probably the 30s. We had family rides. When we got a car in 1950, my dad always wanted to go out with somebody and take rides, so we went out and saw various things. Always the same things, it seemed. And we had some family vacations. We went up to Maine and New England, and of course my dad's science trips for his college. We went to 46 of the states as we were all in our teens. So we saw an awful lot of the country, and a lot of the beauty of the country. Fran and I loved that. As time went on, she moved down to Philadelphia, and she worked at the Moore Design School. And as I took a job later to work at IBM, they spent maybe 12 weeks of training in Philadelphia, so I saw an awful lot of her, had a lot of meals together, and spent a lot of time together, and that was a lot of fun for both of us. She had her own apartment there, and she was really proud of it. And later on, she moved to Sweden, which I don't know that much about. I wrote a bit about it in the obituary. She found her to be a kind person. She is quiet. She loved her pets. She was a very good sister, and she and all the relatives are going to miss her a lot. I'm certainly going to miss her, and certainly sorrowed by her passing. If you want to reach out to me and communicate anything, feel free to do that. And I look forward to perhaps seeing you in the winter or the spring, when I'm more able to travel and get over to Sweden to catch up. Thanks for listening, and best wishes to you.